J'adore l'humour. Hi, I'm Ariel from France. Bonjour. And welcome to this channel where we create fun costumes and weird stuff. Today we are making a quick project, a crown for an evil queen. It will be made out of EVA foam and papier mâché. Very lightweight, simple and cheap to make. And let's go! For the base of my crown, I cut long strips of scrap EVA foam and glue them together to have a sort of long band at the size of my head. For the spikes, the pattern is only those two triangles, a big one and a small one. I put the measurement here so you can copy it if you want, but it's very simple. I traced them all out of high density foam, half on one side, half on the other, so they can be symmetrical. Then I cut them all with a box cutter that I kept sharpening on a sharpening stone. Some edges are cut at 90 degrees, but some need to be cut at an angle so that when you assemble them, they have a nice point. Try to have the same angle on all the shapes. Then I used some neoprene to assemble them together. I have a big jar of glue that I keep to refill this little bottle. The amount of glue on the piece should be really thin, so I apply a little and I scrap it with a piece of scrap foam. Then you have to wait a few minutes, so the glue dries a little and is not sticky to your touch. I use my table to have the piece really flat, then fold them so they can stick together. I made a few spikes and started to assemble them on the headband, simply attaching them with a bit of glue. It's really started to look like something I would like, but I would need a lot more spikes. Then add all the spikes, and I try to have them a little bigger in the front to have some kind of tiara effect. It was the middle of summer with 1,000,000 degrees outside. The glue melted a little and some of my seams were not very neat. I primed the whole thing in wood glue. It's a great primer for foam, as long as you don't want this part to stay bendy. It's very strong and cheap. 2 coats of it made a great base, but with the problem of my glue from before, my seams were not perfect. But I had an idea. Papier mâché! I used tissue paper. It's really thin, very cheap, you can have it anywhere like in your shoebox, and it rips easily, so it's very useful here. I crumbled it to have a nice texture, and then I ripped it to have little pieces. You don't want to have a sharp edge that is cut with the scissors. Then I applied it with wood glue again, a little bit of glue, then the paper and glue again. This covered all the gaps of my seam while keeping the shape and adding a lot of texture, which I really liked. Don't you like papier mâché? I love papier mâché. It's relaxing, cheap, and the effect is so good. A very underrated technique. I kept going all over the crown, leaving a few gaps, but that's okay, we don't need texture everywhere. When it was dry, I did a coat of black acrylic all over the crown. And then a layer of silver acrylic that I dabbed with my finger, adding just a tiny amount at a time and rubbing it to make all the details pop. Kind of like dry brushing, but with your finger. Really easy, really fast, 5 star. And then I just sprayed a clear varnish over it, and the crown was finished. Besides the drying of the glue, it only took a few hours. Foam is so easy to work with, I really like it. And it makes a really cool prop for your costume, in my opinion. I hope you enjoyed this build as much as me. You can give it a little like. It's free and it really helps me out. I will see you in the next one. Allez, bisous!